Hey guys, how's it going? Today we're going to be comparing the combat and tactical shotgun in Season 9 of Fortnite. Now, as you guys already know, all the other versions of the shotguns have been removed, like the pump and the heavy, so now we're left with the combat and the tactical, and we'll be going over all the attributes with them and decide what makes the gun bad or good. I'm laying this video out in a very simple format. First, we're going to be comparing the stats of the guns, so like the DPS and the magazine size, etc. Second, we'll be comparing the rarities and the drop rate of both guns. Third, we're going to be comparing the crosshair and the shot spread. Fourth, we'll be comparing the effective range and consistency. And fifth, we'll just do an overview of both guns and kind of decide which one's better than the other. Let me know if you guys are liking the season so far, if you like the new shotgun changes, or if you wish the pump and the heavy were still in the game. I'm curious to see what the community thinks of the changes in Season 9. Anyway, let's get on with the comparison of the tactical and combat shotgun. So for the rest of the video, we are going to be looking at the tactical shotgun first, and then we'll compare it to the new combat shotgun. So looking at the tac real quick, here's all the stats for all the different variants, the gray, green, and blue. I'm not going to go over every stat here. You guys can see it here on screen, and then you can also see it in game. As far as the DPS goes, and DPS is damage per second for you guys who don't know, it varies by 6. So if we look at the gray, the DPS for the gray is 106.5, then it goes up by 6 for the green, 112.5, and it goes up 6 again for the blue, 118.5. And then the damage goes up by 4, so 71 for the gray, 75 for the green, and then 79 for the blue. The reload time varies by 0.3. And then the fire rate and magazine, it just stays the same for all the different variants. As you guys already know, the tactical shotgun is much easier to find because it's in a gray, green, and blue variant, while the combat shotgun is in a blue, purple, and gold. Although I really do think Epic Games did up the spawn rate for the blue version of the combat shotgun, because I find the blue version of the combat shotgun much easier to find compared to the blue tac. But still, the purple and gold versions of the combat shotgun I think are still very, very rare. So let's look at the combat shotgun now. I'll put the stats up on the screen. Just like the tac shotgun, it varies in DPS and damage, but what's different about it is it's not consistent. Instead of going up by the same number every time, I think it goes up by a percentage because it's not the same number. Just like the tac, the magazine size and the fire rate stay the same throughout all the variants, but one thing to keep noted is that the combat shotgun does have a bigger magazine size and it reloads by 2. So you put 2 shells at a time in the gun compared to the tac, you only put 1 shell in the gun. So if we just compare these guns by their stats, the combat shotgun would win by a mile. It's just better in every category, but we're not going to do that in this video. The stats don't really prove too much according to the gameplay. There's other aspects that we need to look at to really compare these weapons, and that's what we're going to do next. Before we move on, if you guys are enjoying the video, make sure to drop a like down below, and if you guys are new, make sure to subscribe. It would be greatly appreciated. Alright guys, now moving on, we are going to be looking at the shot spread and crosshairs for both shotguns. The tactical shotgun, as you guys know, has a much bigger crosshair and much bigger shot spread, and that in turn makes it easier to hit targets in general. Now the combat shotgun has a much smaller crosshair and shot spread, so that's where it creates a bigger skill gap. For console players or players that use a controller, it will be much harder to land your shots with a combat shotgun compared to the tac, especially if you don't hit LT or L2 on a controller to get that aim assist. The combat shotgun definitely takes a lot more precision to use. It's more idealistic in high ground situations or any situation where you have more time to aim. The tactical shotgun is much better in situations where you're jumping around or have low ground, or you're just trying to get a shot on target. Now, the combat shotgun, with having such a small crosshair, if you do get a shot on target, you have a much higher chance of doing more damage because the shot spread or the pellet spread is much smaller. So with the tactical shotgun having a much larger crosshair, it makes it a lot harder to do the maximum amount of damage on your opponent. It's just easy to get your crosshair on them, but you might not have the whole crosshair on the opponent, and you might not be able to do the maximum amount of damage that the gun is capable of. Again, the tac is just more reliable of getting some type of damage on target, while the combat shotgun is more of a hit or miss type of gun. So now let's look at the effective range and consistency of both weapons. Both of the guns currently are pretty consistent. I'm going to show you guys some tests I ran from close medium, and long ranges for both guns. They weren't always like that though, where at least the combat shotgun wasn't when the new season came out. TSM Daquan did a little test video they posted on social media showing the consistency of the new combat shotgun. It was really bad. I'll put the clip of that on the screen right now.
Possibly can get it. Okay, that was pretty good.
Why do you hit less than the second shot? And the third? But you hit a lot of damage at first.
I don't understand.
That makes no sense.
What are you talking about? That doesn't make sense.
As you guys can see, the combat shotgun used to be very, very inconsistent, but they did a patch and it's now up to par to where it should be. Here are the tests that I ran to show you guys the short, medium, and long ranges, and you can see what type of damage both guns do at these ranges. Both guns performed very consistently. They didn't vary in damage too much. The combat shotgun, as expected, did better in the longer and medium ranges because the crosshair is smaller and the pellet spread is much tighter. The combat shotgun though did do better in the close range. Even with both crosshairs fully aimed on the head, the tactical shotgun did do more damage. It got up to like 134 compared to the 124 from the combat shotgun. Keep in mind guys that these tests were done on a 30 ping server and the crosshair was entirely covering the opponent. It may vary in online matches, you might not get the same results as me, but in a controlled environment, both guns were very consistent. Okay, so which shotgun's better, the combat shotgun or the tactical shotgun? Now, I really don't have a solid answer for this. They're both good in their own ways. The combat shotgun is much harder to use, but it's a very high rewarding gun. Now Epic knows that the combat shotgun is much harder to be consistent with, so they gave us 10 shots before we have to reload, and then we also put 2 shells in the gun at a time to make the reloading a lot quicker, so that makes up for the shots that you miss. So my final overview for both the shotguns is that they're very good and they're both consistent. Now the new combat shotgun has been getting a lot of hate because it's new. People don't understand it yet. It's really meant for those medium ranges or when you have high ground. The tac shotgun still plays the same role it always has. It's really good up a close range and it's good for just getting damage on target. The combat shotgun does take a lot more skill to master, and I think people need to give it some time, and it could be just as good in close range fights or even better if you guys can master the gun. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Make sure to leave a comment down below on which shotgun you'll be choosing when you play a game of Fortnite. These type of videos are always fun to make and I hope you enjoyed it. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Later.